All good things. If all good is based on conscious experience, then improving and perfecting states of consciousness, and seeking desirable experiences constitute the meaning, purpose, and value of all conscious life. But what does it mean to improve conscious experience? If we discover how to best approach this supreme good, it would serve as a focus for all rightful action. Quote, "Will not then a knowledge of this supreme good be also of great practical importance for the conduct of life? Will it not better enable us to attain our proper object, like archers having a target to aim at?" End quote. Aristotle in Nicomachean Ethics, 340 BC. It's hard to imagine any knowledge that could be more valuable. Dimensions of experience. Quote, "The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience." End quote. Eleanor Roosevelt. How many ways are there to improve conscious experience? In our examples, we encountered 3. Life-saving medicine improved consciousness by extending life, and allowing for more experiences. Having shelter increased the quality of experience. Creating art improved the variety of experiences. Thus there are at least 3 ways consciousness can improve. Quantity? To live it. One way to improve experience is to create more of them. That is, to increase the number of experiences, have more of them, live longer, save lives, continue and propagate life, create and support the next and future generations. As long as the experiences are positive, more is better than fewer. Thus, working to save and preserve life, and to protect the planet that sustains us, are seen as universal goals in service to a universal good. Quality. To taste experience to the utmost. A second way to improve experience is to simply have better ones. That is, to increase happiness, pleasure, satisfaction, and contentment, or to reduce suffering, pain, displeasure, and anguish. Quote, "The creed which accepts as the foundation of morals, utility, or the greatest happiness principle, holds that actions are right in proportion as they tend to promote happiness, wrong as they tend to produce the reverse of happiness." End quote. John Stuart Mill in Utilitarianism, 1863. Increasing happiness and reducing suffering are not only goals held by all, but are considered by some to be the very definition of good. Variety. To reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience. A third way to improve experience is to have new kinds of them. That is, to have a wide breadth of experiences, try new things, explore new states of consciousness, learn, develop, grow, increase the ways of thinking, perceiving, and being, to promote a diversity of forms of conscious life, language, arts, culture, and expression. Quote, "Variety's the very spice of life, that gives it all its flavor." End quote. William Cooper in The Task, 1785. Few desire lives of monotony or stagnation. Instead we seek lives of learning and growth, enriched by a diversity of experiences. Knowing the meaning of life. All good comes from increasing the quantity, quality, and variety of life's experiences. It is the source of all value and motive for all action. It is the meaning of life. Great power comes from knowing this ultimate source of value. Since all value derives from this knowledge tells us what things are truly valuable and worthy of pursuit, and which are not. Since this universal value is the motivation behind all human action, this knowledge helps to better understand and relate to others. Since it is the source of value behind every useful technology, this knowledge enables us to predict where technology is headed. Since it is the goal of conscious life, this knowledge tells us of the ultimate destiny of humanity, or for that matter any intelligent race. Since it is the supreme purpose, this knowledge enables us to live in a manner to get the most and make the most out of our time here. What things are valuable? To know what is valuable, is to know what is worthy of pursuing, protecting, or fighting for. It tells us how to best spend our limited time, money, and energy to achieve what's most important in life. A field called axiology is dedicated to the study of value. It seeks to answer where it comes from and what makes anything valuable. One of its lessons is that value comes in two forms. 1. Intrinsic value, things that are valuable for their own sake. 2. Instrumental value, ways to achieve things with intrinsic value. Intrinsic value. In his 1973 work Ethics, the philosopher William Frankiner tried to list everything that has intrinsic value. The following is his list: life, consciousness, and activity. Health and strength. Pleasures and satisfactions of all or certain kinds. Happiness, beatitude, contentment, etc. Truth. Knowledge and true opinion of various kinds, understanding, wisdom. Beauty, harmony, proportion in objects contemplated. Aesthetic experience. Morally good dispositions or virtues. Mutual affection, love, friendship, cooperation. Just distribution of goods and evils. Harmony and proportion in one's own life. Power and experiences of achievement. Self-expression. Freedom. Peace, security. Adventure and novelty. Good reputation, honor, esteem, etc. All of these serve to improve one or more dimensions of experience. But intrinsic values, and improvements to consciousness are not the only things we value. We also value the means to reach these ends. Quote, all desirable things are desirable either for the pleasure inherent in themselves, or as means to the promotion of pleasure and the prevention of pain. End quote. John Stuart Mill in Utilitarianism, 1863. Such means are called instrumentally valuable, for they are instrumental to reaching some end goal which is valuable for itself. Instrumental value. Things like food, water, medicine, shelter, and fuel, are not the ends but a means. They serve the purpose of maintaining and supporting conscious life, and so are indirectly valuable to consciousness. In fact, anything we spend money on is, by definition, valuable. Most money is spent to meet the basic needs of life: food, clothing, shelter, healthcare. Living another day adds to the quantity of experience. When money's left over after meeting basic needs, it can be spent to improve the quality of experience and variety of experience, on travel, art, education, entertainment, conveniences, dining, and electronics. The value of life. Consciousness may be the ultimate source of value, but it is by no means the only thing of value. Some things contain either a future potential for consciousness, or play a supporting role for it. For example, a planet harboring only unconscious single-celled life, or even just the necessary chemicals to later develop life, has value. It is valuable for its potential to develop and host conscious life. If some misfortune prevented the rise of life on Earth, it would represent an incalculable loss of value, for it would have prevented all the life and consciousness that otherwise would have emerged. Unconscious life on Earth is also valuable for its role in the greater ecosystem and food chain on which all conscious life depends. Common values. Quote, whether one believes in religion or not, whether one believes in this religion or that religion, we all are seeking something better in life. End quote. The 14th Dalai Lama in The Art of Happiness, 1998. It sometimes seems no one can agree on anything. But if there is a universal goal, improving conscious experience, and if this goal is shared by all conscious life, why do people ever disagree on anything? As we will see, disagreement stems not from disagreement on this universal value, but comes from different assumptions or priorities. Different assumptions. Knowing that all people fundamentally want the same thing can lead to a greater understanding of and compassion for others. The nun and the reveler. It's hard to imagine a greater contrast than that between an ascetic nun and a hedonistic reveler. They seem to differ in their core values. Here, the appearance of a difference in values is only an illusion. Both the nun and reveler ultimately want the same thing out of life. Both seek to have maximum joy, to improve their quality of experience. Where the nun and reveler differ is in their assumptions and strategies. The reveler operates according to the assumption this may be the only life he gets. His strategy is to maximize pleasure in the here and now. The nun believes if she lives a life of virtue and devotion to God on earth, she will be rewarded with eternal joy in the next life. Both strategies are rational given their assumptions. Everyone desires better experiences. We disagree only on the best way to get them. Planetary survival. Everyone believes a planet full of life beats a dead or desolate world. The more conscious life there is, and the longer such life survives in the universe, the greater total quantity of experience is created. Experience equals population multiplied by time. Presently, we share one home. Earth. Maximizing the quantity of conscious experience requires a balance between maximizing the population and sustaining the environment over time. The population of conscious beings, and the time conscious life inhabits Earth contribute equally to total experience. While everyone agrees with the value of maximizing quantity of experience, people disagree on the best strategy for getting there. Some think the best course is to plan for the long haul, and maximize the time component of the equation while keeping the population at a size that minimizes environmental or other catastrophic risks. Others argue maximizing population is better, as we cannot know how future technologies will alter the situation, nor can we know if or when a global catastrophe might wipe out human civilization. Life on Earth faces an array of threats, including nuclear war, impact events, environmental destruction, overpopulation, crop failure, climate change, cyberterrorism, bioterrorism, pandemics, hostile artificial intelligence, supervolcanoes, and gamma-ray bursts. Whether we maintain a population of 1 billion humans that lasts another 1,000 years or 10 billion humans that makes it only another 100, both yield a net gain of 1 trillion years of human experience. Given technological trends, it is likely that emerging technologies like mind uploading, space migration, and nanotechnology will upend long-term predictions and alter the calculus of the optimum strategy. See, what are the limits to population growth? And can aging be cured? Much like the nun and reveler, all agree on maximizing life and experience. The disagreement is only on what's the best strategy. Different priorities. Other cases of disagreement occur not from a difference of assumptions or opinions on best strategies, but from a different prioritization of the three dimensions of experience. Everyone finds value in greater quantity, quality, and variety of experience. But what happens when one comes at the cost of another? Risk versus reward. Different personality traits result from different priorities for the dimensions of experience. Risk takers and adrenaline junkies, for example, prioritize quality of experience over quantity of experience. They'll risk life and limb for more intense and varied experiences. Different priorities reveal themselves in perennial debates: freedom versus safety, quantity versus quality of life, the new versus the familiar. Others, who prioritize quantity of experience, we may call risk-averse. They consider skydiving or mountain climbing too risky to ever try. Of course, there is also risk in being too risk-averse, and it is grave. You could die without ever having truly lived. No pain, no gain. To have only pleasurable experiences comes at the cost of knowing the full richness and depth of possible experiences. It represents a prioritization of quality of experience over variety of experience. For example, Vincent van Gogh created the Starry Night amidst great emotional torment. The idea of tortured artists implies certain art requires suffering. If true, then their sacrifice trades quality of experience to yield a greater variety of experience for everyone who appreciates their art. Quote, "But perhaps it's good for one to suffer. Perhaps it's unavoidable and necessary. Perhaps I ought to thank you. Can an artist do anything if he's happy? Would he ever want to do anything? What is art, after all, but a protest against the horrible inclemency of life?" End quote. Aldous Huxley in Antic Hay, 1923. Anytime we venture to try something new, we make this trade-off. When we try a new food, we risk finding it distasteful. But it could also become our new favorite. This is the importance of trying new things. To know suffering is to have a basis of compassion for others. Could we know the plight of the hungry if we've never gone without? Could we understand how the sick feel if we've never ourselves been ill?